All right, welcome to the Data Science Open House. Right now, currently, we are in the algorithm wave. Okay, you see there's three waves: algorithm wave, augmentation wave, and autonomy wave. Right now, we're in the algorithm wave. So if you look by industry, you can see how much companies have been able to capitalize on the automation. Right now, financial and insurance have been able to capitalize to the clip of about 8%. All right. So that means that 8% of their business has been automated due to the algorithm wave. All right. Now, we probably got another 2, 3 years left of the algorithm wave, and then we're going to move into the augmentation wave. And the augmentation wave is going to be a lot about IoT, Internet of Things, right? That's where you start putting algorithms into things that normally didn't have, data associated with it, like the Zumba vacuum cleaner, right? Thing comes out the box, dumb as rocks. But once it bumps into enough walls and then it captures where those walls are, then it starts to learn your house. And then it can start taking the optimal route, right? So you see what like a vacuum cleaner company that could take a product that's been the same for years and then completely transform and revolutionize it based on data, right? And so you're going to see a lot of companies start trying to take advantage of that and seeing how data can enhance their products. So that's when the augmentation wave kicks in. It's going to be very successful for a lot of companies because if you look at the percentage of how much they'll be able to automate through these processes, it's extensive. And then around 2030, we're going to enter the autonomy wave. And the industry set to capitalize the most off the autonomy wave is the transportation industry. So think of what 50% of the transportation industry being automated looks like. Those are your cars, your planes, your buses, right? All of those things, we're talking about 50% automation by the end of the autonomy wave. All right. And so this is coming right now. And the people needed to do the automation is the data scientists. And so when you look at the acceleration of the growth in technology, it kind of tells the picture, right? First technology, 1400, printing press. It wasn't for another 200 years that they came out with the next technology, which was the telescope, another 150 years before they came out with the steam engine. But as you see us go around to the 20th and 21st century, you see this rise in technology. It's an acceleration. And all technology captures data, right? So the more technology, the more data. And because of this, you see this growth, this exponential growth in technology right now, which is producing mass amounts of data. I mean, we have collected more data in the past 3 years than we have in the entire history. And so, because of this, 65% of children starting school right now, 5, 6 years old, they will work in a field that does not yet exist. And at least half of our jobs are going to be affected in the next 15 years. So we want to blame the robots, right? Oh, it's the robots. They're taking our jobs. But in reality, yes, they are displacing workers. However, they are creating 35% more job opportunities. And so they take jobs away, more manual jobs, but then they bring more thinking jobs to the platform. And it's nothing different from what's been going on in history. Okay. You have, when you break your jobs up, you have non routine versus routine. Am I doing the same thing over again every day? Right. And then you have your cognitive versus manual. Cognitive is you got to think more. Okay. So it's more of a thinking job. And so when you look at routine cognitive, routine manual, those jobs have pretty much been the same throughout the years. But when you look at non routine manual and non routine cognitive from the 1980s, those jobs have been accelerating, right? So this These jobs definitely fall in the non-routine cognitive. And as you can see, those jobs have been going up since the 80s. And so, because of that, workers now need to become more data literate. And what does that mean? That means they need to understand the whole process, the collecting the data, the transforming and modeling the data, visualizing the data, and then be able to communicate that to let people know what the data is saying. So, what is data science? It is a field that deals with extracting business values from your data by identifying patterns and making predictions. All right. Most of you guys are in data analytics, right? Data analytics is the first stage, right? You can see what's going on, understand your KPIs, and make better business decisions because of that. But when you talk about data science, it's now taking that a step further. I want to predict what's going to happen. If these scenarios happen, then how likely am I to get the desired result? And so once you understand the history of the data, you can start anticipating and predicting what's going to happen. Why should you learn data science? Okay, it's the best job out there, the best job of the 21st century. Some call it the sexiest job of the 21st century. All right. Um, it's directly into related to AI. This is AI. Data science moves into AI. Everybody knows that artificial intelligence is the future, right? And AI right now is an infant. Okay. And what AI needs to grow is data. And if we've collected in the past 3 years, we've collected more data than we have throughout the entire history. Imagine what the next 5 years looks like. Imagine how much data we'll collect in. AI is going to start growing up. When you talk about money, being in this field, money is not a problem. Okay, you're going to have a high-paying career. You're going to be in high demand, and it's not going away anytime soon. A company cannot have enough data scientists. Okay, because the data scientists, for the problems that they're solving, they could save a company thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, definitely more than what they pay you. So you cannot have enough data scientists. As long as you got data, you bring in a data scientist, you challenge them to fix different issues, figure out different things, and they're going to make you way more money than what you pay for them, right? So they're worth their weight every day. If you don't like being in the manual field, doing the same thing every day, then you know that every day is a new challenge for a data scientist. Getting that domain knowledge, understanding the problems that the business faces, and then being able to fix those problems. You're always learning. It's constant learning. You always got to, this is new, right? So everything you learn is the edge of technology. And these are the type of jobs that apply to every single domain. Okay. Just take data analytics, for example. You give me any company, I can tell you how they could benefit through data analytics. All right. Every single company can benefit through data science. So you're talking about an industry that is going to grow and grow as big as it can. And the people that work in it are going to be challenged and get exciting new projects. And everything is going to be cutting edge. Everything is going to be cutting edge. Now, data science the Colaberry way. So we have a whole different platform. Like most of you guys have been on app.colaberry. We have Refactored, which is the platform designed for data science. And so most of you guys know about our hybrid approach of self-learning and instructor-led programs. Everything we do is hands-on. The tools that you're going to be writing the code in, we have those tools embedded into our Refactored platform. So it makes it a lot easier for you to code and write and do all of the assignments directly there within our site. Gamified learning. How's everybody doing? Where am I compared to my class? What's my efficiency rating? We track all of those things. You don't have to install any tools because it's all embedded into our platform. Everything is accessible. And look, our data analytics program teaches people from no experience and gets them into the data analytics field. This will take you from that field or some experience and get you to data science. All we do is focus on real world scenarios, and our plan to get you placed revolves around building projects and showcasing those on your bio and your online profile. So it's 3 weeks, I mean 3 classes, okay, each 8 weeks long. And just to give you a heads up, those will probably extend out more like 9 or 10 weeks, just for your planning purposes. Just the upcoming classes. So there's 3 programs, okay. So Colaberry, uh, we do training, of course, mentoring, internships, and consulting. So the same thing that we teach you, we do for clients, and you could potentially be working for Colaberry, once you make your transition. And so our classes are 2 days a week. All right. We got different times for different classes. So I'll give you more details before it starts. I think we have it on, the times attached to the training. Um, so wherever you signed up, you should be able to see the times. I just don't have that in front of me. Just like our data analytics class, you're going to have to spend 15 to 20 hours a week. Okay. That's just how our programs are built. We put a large focus on the hard work and the grinding aspect, right? And really, in reality, if you just dedicate time to anything, you can learn anything, right? And so, what our platform helps us do is to use data to streamline the learning process. Okay, so we want to cut down on your learning process. Normally, this stuff takes, man, this stuff is, it's very intensive. It takes a lot. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to isolate this time and give you a faster route, okay, rather than taking a 2 year program, a 4 year program. We want to compact that time, but it does take your dedication. Like, you can't just be half in, oh, I'm just only gonna do something. Now you got to be focused. You got to be intense. You got to keep up, or you're gonna get lost, right? So as long as you have that tenacity and you're willing to, meet the deadlines and all of that, then this class is going to teach you in a faster period of time. Hands-on assignments, real-world scenarios. That's what we focus on. We have projects. You'll be working on a project in every single class that you're in. 1, 2, and 3. You'll work on a project, a capstone project. We'll put that project in your profile, and that's how we're going to market you for these positions. Is not only be able to show your technical skills, but be able to show your communication skills, and then be able to show them projects that you've completed. And then once you get through the end of the program, we have our job readiness, where you'll be assigned a mentor, you'll work on projects, okay? And this is until you get placed. There's no extra fee for this. We're just going to keep you working on projects, keep you building your bio until you get that offer letter. Okay, so there's not really like, you have the 3 classes, but then after that, we're going to keep on working with you until you get to your goal. Okay, we're going to keep on, but that time is not wasted, because whatever time you spend on those projects, that goes on your bio, and that bio is for life. Okay, so anytime you're going and you're seeking a new position and there's 20 applicants, how many of them do you think are going to have a bio? How many of you think that they're out of the people are going to have some projects that they've done that are outlined that you can go look at, right? So it really minimizes the playing field for you guys, and you really have a strategic advantage once you've completed your projects. Once you do make it through the program, we're going to create you a digital resume because you're going to create some videos. You got to get comfortable talking about the topics. And as you go through the program, you create videos. We'll prepare you a profile at the end, which will be able to showcase your projects. We'll be able to showcase your communication skills. We'll be able to showcase your technical skills. And then I mentioned the bio. We have a site, Hire.Refactored. That's where we put all of our data talent on there. So you'll be able to showcase your projects on there. Clients will be able to come there, look at your work, look at what you've done, and then make their hiring decisions based on that. Whereas most people just have a paper resume. So you'll have, of course, your LinkedIn, you'll have your bio, you'll have your digital resume, and we're going to really build you an online presence as part of the program because we all know that's what we're dealing with now, right? It's about online and we got to adjust. Okay. How do you make yourself more marketable? Well, you're on social media, right? You got friends, you got profiles, you got videos. These are all of the things that's making the world go around right now. So Colaberry is just gonna take, you always got to be adjusting, right? We're just taking what is happening now and we're integrating it into the platform as part of the process. And then again, Hire.Refactored. On this site, companies can book interviews with you directly on the site, and we are doing the interviews directly on the site. So not only can they book an interview with you, but when you're about to do your interview, you log on to the site and you can do your interview directly through this website, which cuts down on the hiring time, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more efficient, make it easier for clients to be able to hire you. They can take the time that they need to look through your profile, look through your videos and all of that. And then they can do their research. And then once they reach out to you, they already know what you like. Now it's just about, is this the right fit? So, and then streamlining the hiring process makes it easy for them to get the talent in the door fast. Because once they come up with these positions, they need the people. By the time they actually get the position to HR and say, I need this, they've already come up with a job description. They've already done all of these things to get ready. They wanted that person a month or two ago, right? But they got to go through all of the paperwork and all of that to get the position ready. By that time, they're ready to hire somebody right away. So what we want to do is we want to cut down on that hiring time to make it beneficial for them to use this platform. And we are award winning. We've won awards through MIT. If you go to Course Report right now, you'll see we're voted one of the best data science boot camps. We won an award through General Motors for advanced technologies, artificial intelligence for the betterment of humanity, and then our community favorite award. Here's some of the alumni, where our alumni work. And I will open it up to questions in a minute. But just to give you guys an idea, we've been doing data analytics for almost 10 years now. Okay. Data science is still, we have our chief data scientist. We got great expertise. Our offices in Boston staff very, very high level data scientists. Okay. But in terms of the class, it's something that just we've been doing for like the past 2 years, and putting all of the pieces together. So that's why I told you that it would take a little longer than 8 weeks, is because we really want to focus on making sure that you guys create your projects as you go through the program, okay? To eventually add to your bio, which is going to ultimately help you get the job. So, the program is going to be very hands-on. It's going to be a lot of assignments. And I know the majority of you guys are already working in the field. And yeah, you get requirements and deadlines, and sometimes you got to spend extra time at work. But you also have to have this level of effort in this program that even if things get tough at work, I still got to do my assignments. Okay. Because look, the program doesn't work if you just kind of half-ass it. All right. Just like our data analytics program, it just doesn't work. Okay. Like I would rather tell people the truth. That way you can get your mind right. Okay, this class is going to be tough. I went through this class. When we first started it, I went through the class. I sat through the entire thing. I did all of the homeworks. Okay, it is tough. Okay, a lot of new concepts. But I think we can all agree that the money potential and the potential for your career, it's well worth it. But I'm telling you, it's going to be tough. Okay, you're going to be working on a lot of assignments. In addition to that, you're going to be working on a group project. And that's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of time. Okay, and sometimes you get tied up at work, you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to keep on going with the crew to keep on making it work. Okay, and that's the only way you can go through a Colaberry program. Okay, you can't half-ass a Colaberry program. It's about full focus, dedication, okay, and hard work. And as long as you say, okay, I'm going to be committed for the next, 10 months to this, then this is a program for you. It's gonna up your career. All right, it's gonna put you in the place to be. We already know the content is great. You build your projects. We already know that works. We're doing it with the data analytics. We already know it works. Okay. And then also, I'm building up the consultancy right now. All right. So every consultant that we go to for data analytics, I have my data scientists go and say, hey, this is what we could do for your business as well. And we give them the option to add in a data scientist if they want one of their resources to be a data scientist. So as I build up this consultancy, I'm always going to need data scientists. Okay, as we up the skills, as we up the, it's an upsell for us. So I'm going to have a lot of positions, and I need to make sure that we have a constant flow of data scientists coming out of this program, so then I can go ahead and hire you guys and put you on the projects with Colaberry. All right. Not all of you guys are going to work for Colaberry. Some of you might get jobs at other companies. But my goal is to grab you guys and bring you into this consulting business that I'm building. So by the time you guys get out of the program in a few months, we'll already be there. We'll already have the demand there to be able to pull you guys in and be like, let's do this. So for alumni, we're going to give you guys a massive discount. Okay. At this point, just to be honest with you, just to be 100% with you, we want to get as many people through the program as possible. It's not about the money right now for the data science program. We want to get as many people through as possible. Okay. We want to continue to refine. We want to continue to make the process better. We want to continue to get more people through. All right. So it's not about making money on the data science side off the tuition and all of that. Okay. And so we're going to give the alumni, as long as you're part of the alumni, I think the classes are normally like $14.99 a piece, right? So you have about $4,500 for the all three classes. So what we're going to do is we're going to knock that down to $1,500. Okay, $1,500 for all three courses. So that's only $500 a course, but you got to pay the $1,500 up front. Okay, you pay the $1,500 up front. That allows you to go through all of the three classes, not have to worry about any more payments. Okay. In addition, those who have taken the class in the past, guess what? If you fall out for whatever reason, we're going to let you come back and take the course. Okay, we're going to let you come back. You don't have to pay any more money. Okay, like I said, my goal right now is to get as many people through the program as possible. So you going through, whatever happens, you fall out, guess what? You join in the next batch. As long as you paid that tuition up front, you're gonna be good. Okay, I'm gonna work really hard to get everybody through. Okay, as long as you got the effort, my goal is to get as many people through as possible. Okay, I'm giving you guys a supreme discount. I just need your activity though. Okay, I just need you to grind, keep on working. I'm already letting you know it's gonna get tough. You got a job, so I know how the job is. Sometimes you off, sometimes they're like down your ass. Okay, I get it. But I'm just saying you need to have this class as a priority. If you don't take this class and you just like, oh yeah, I'll just sit through this class and become a data scientist, like get that out your mind right now. Okay. If you're going to become a data scientist, it's going to be through your grinding and hard work. Okay. We got the process in place, but you got to go through it. You got to understand it. You can't just wing this stuff. Okay, you're not just going to be able to sit through a couple of classes and then all of a sudden understand all these algorithms. It's just not going to work. This stuff is tough. Okay, when I was going through the class, I was like, man, some concepts I was like, man, I got to go over a few times. And so just understand it's going to be a challenge, but that's okay though, because you're at the top of your game. This is at the top. We're going to get you to the top of your game. Data scientist, it's the highest level. Okay, you get to work on all cutting edge stuff, but understand that comes with the knowledge that you have to obtain to get there. Like you can't just half-ass and then all of a sudden I'm data scientist. It just don't work like that. Just like most of you guys went through the data analytics program. Y'all saw the people that didn't take it serious. Y'all saw the people who weren't focused. How far did they make it? Same situation here. It's going to take a lot of asserted effort. Okay, you're not going to understand all the concepts at first, but just as long as you got that willing to keep on grinding and working, then you'll be all right. Okay, and Colaberry is going to fight to push you through. Okay, it's not about money. We're not going to keep on charging you. We like, hey, once you sign up for this thing the first time, we're going to keep on working with you until you finish it. Even if you don't finish it with your first crew, we're going to keep on working with you till you finish it. Okay, you join any other class. Okay, you make it through the first class, you make it through the second class, third class, for whatever reason, something happened, you had to fall out. Guess what? You join in on the next third class. No money to you. Okay, so that's what I'm willing to do for you guys, because my goal here is to get as many people through as possible. Okay, but you got to understand, when you come and you take this step, it has to be about the grind. Okay, you got to focus on the grind. That's the only thing that's going to make you through. Because if you're not going to be invested like that, you're just going to spend a lot of time and then waste your time. Okay, because if you're not going to be focused on it, you're going to end up, once you're gone for 2 months, you forget everything. So it's not even worth your time unless you're going to be fully committed. Because I'm telling you right now, you're not going to make it through unless you're fully committed. Okay, so I just want everybody to understand that. Don't join the class if you, oh, I like to know a little bit about data science. Don't join the class if that's what you're doing. As long as you understand, it's going to be a grind for several months. Okay, for several months. Some of you guys already been through that with the data analytics. Okay, same thing here. But it's going to be worth it. Okay, on the back end, but it's only going to be worth it if you're putting in that work and you're putting in that grind. All right, so I'm gonna open it up for questions. What do you guys have?
Can you just talk about a little bit of the schedule of the classes, and talk a little bit about some of the tools and that comes with the data science? Like, what tools would you be learning and working on? A little bit of that, if you can.
Yeah, so the class is 2 days a week. Looks like we have Saturday 9 to 1, okay, and Wednesday 6:30 to 9:30. So those are the times right now. I believe those times are set, but allow me to tell you again. I'll tell you if something changes. But as of right now, those are the times. Um, the first class is more just learning Python. Okay, Python is the number one tool for data scientists. So in DS1, you're going to be learning about Python. You're going to be learning how to do data analytics in Python is what the first course is about. Okay, and that comes with connecting to multiple sources, being able to scrape, meaning you build a robot to go on sites and gather information, collect that information, bring it in. Um, there's a lot of ETL. Think of, if you understand ETL, we're going to use a lot of Python to pull in data from different sources, transform it, okay, and then store it in a file or store it in a database or something like that, right? And then your project for DS1 is going to be to bring data in from at least two different sources. You have, it could be Excel or a database, it could be scraping, it could be through an API. Okay, you're going to learn how to connect to the APIs, and you're going to grab different sources and you're going to bring them together. You're going to build a dashboard on it. That's going to be your first capstone project, okay, for DS1. It's more of a data analytics project as you learn Python. Once you start DS2, that's where you start getting into the math and science part of it. You start learning about the algorithms, all right? But we keep it on the lower level, the easier ones, all right? And then once you make it to DS3, then you start focusing on some of the more sophisticated algorithms, all right? And so each class is going to have a project. So you're going to link up with about 3 other people, okay? Because we don't want to put all of that work on just one person. So you guys as a group are going to work to, from the time you get started, like section 2, you're going to start at the end of each assignment, you're going to start learning about the project, learning about the platform for which the project sits on, start doing your collections, start understanding what the project entails. And then once the class is over, you're going to have about 2 weeks to complete your project, to wrap it up. But you're going to be working on it during the time that you're going through your assignments and working through the class. So that is DS1, 2, and 3. But it's a heavy focus on that project, okay? The projects that you document and put in your bio, those are going to be what gets you the job, okay? So every single DS1, DS2, DS3, each one, it is essential that you complete your team projects, okay? Because the goal is when you go on the market, you need to have those 3 projects, 2 specifically data science projects from DS2 and DS3. You want to have those on your profile because it's going to be a lot easier for you to get placed than just saying, oh yeah, I know how to write algorithms.
Hi, Ali. It's Nicole. Good to see you again. I just had a question. I know you said it's 2 weeks after the first, well, after the whole entire program. So is it 2 weeks like in between, like, so DS1 is 2-week break, like that? And then also, like, will we utilize SQL at all, or is this a straight Python? And then also,
Yeah.
when is the first day of the class? When does it start?
There will be like 2 weeks after the class. So after the class is over, there'll be that 2 weeks where you guys are just kind of, finishing up your project, getting everything posted, getting everything finished. Okay. And then after that 2-week grace period, we'll start DS2.
I was just asking like about SQL, because I know you said it's Python too, but will SQL be utilized as well?
Yeah, and so when you bring data in from these different sources, you got to store them somewhere, right? And so you could store them in a file, you could store them in a database. They have what they call SQLite in Python, which is a lighter version of SQL. You could store them in a SQL Server database, okay? So yes, you still will be working with a database because you have to store. You're going to store your data either in a file or a database more times than not. So there will be that database concept, and your SQL skills will help you out because there's, Python is an open source tool. It's free. Okay. And so how they got big is because it's open source, it's free to work with. You don't have to pay for it. People go in and build applications for it. Okay. And these applications do different things. Like they have applications for Python. You download Python and then you download the application, and then you have these increased functionalities. Like they got an add-on for Python, which we'll use called Pandas. And Pandas is like being able to bring your data in and use it like you would a database, right? That's what Pandas does. And so you install Pandas into Python, and then you have basically this functionality of things that you can do. There's some specific add-ons that are just for statistical modeling. If you want to do a statistical model, you add this on the Python, and now you have those capabilities. And each of those comes with a set of instructions, a set of keywords that you use. How do you operate it? Each one's it's like a game console, right? Like Python is the game console. Python is the PlayStation. Okay. And then you have all of these companies that come in and build things, build games, right? And these games, you can connect to the console and then be able to do different things, right? Race car game, football game, basketball game, like that. So that's kind of how Python works, is out of the shell, just using Python, depends on what you're kind of doing. It's just basic operations. But when you start adding in all of these add-ons, then that enhances your capabilities through the Python platform. So yes, your SQL skills will come in handy. Any more questions?
When far as payments and registering for the class, how soon before the start date do you need to make that payment?
I think we have a cutoff like one day before the class starts. So like it'll start on Saturday, and then you have to have all your payments in. Like if you're gonna take the class, start off early, because we're regulated through TWC. So you gotta have your education, diploma or degree. You gotta turn that in and fill out, the paperwork and all of that. So you wanna go ahead and get that stuff done as soon as possible. But I think our cutoff is like a day before the class starts. At a certain time, we have to cut off applications.
Okay. One more question. Would there be any as far as database, would there be any cloud like Azure or any cloud infrastructures inside these courses, or no?
And if you decide to do that for one of your projects, you're well within your realm to do that. But we're going to focus more on Jupyter Notebook. If you guys want to write that down, Jupyter Notebook, because you can code in Python in many different like browsers, right? We focus on Jupyter Notebook, and that has a lot of functionality in it. So we won't be connecting to like an Azure or AWS platform or anything like that. But there will be times where when you're doing your project, it may make sense for you to kind of get like a little personal account and kind of mess with it. But that's not going to be part of the course.
Ali, I have a question. Yeah. Now that we are on LinkedIn, so how do you consolidate our new resume with the old resume with the new one with the data science?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Right now, we're learning that when you build the digital resume, the LinkedIn, all of the credentials that we show, people that don't have experience in the field are able to get jobs through this online profile that we're creating, okay? And there's such a need for data scientists that your experience of what you're doing now with your current resume in addition to your online profile, the 3 projects that you're going to create, the digital resume with the videos, the bio, we're pretty confident that that's going to be enough to show that you know how to do the work. And then listen, companies know there's different levels of data scientists, okay? You got your PhD types, which is the first one that comes through the door. These guys are the ones building the statistical models, okay? After that, like, you guys probably won't be building statistical models. You'll be using models that already exist, okay? So you end up with a challenge, a data challenge, a problem, okay? Your job is going to be to find the algorithm that's going to produce you the best results. You're not going to go in there and build a new algorithm, all right? Most of the time, you guys are finding out what works in this situation and then applying that algorithm. Your PhD guys are the ones that are building the algorithms, going through all of that extra sophisticated stuff. But as the program, you know, as the field, you know, blossoms and develops, you guys will be problem solvers. Okay, here's my problem. Here's my list of algorithms that I have in my toolbox. Which one is going to give me the best result? And then I'm going to run a few of those and I'm going to test it out and I'm going to see which one gives me the best result. And that's the one I'm going to go with. So, so yeah, taking your data experience as you're in the field right now and combine that with some capstone projects that you can show and talk about what you did and give a presentation, then that's going to be enough for you guys to make that transition.
Yeah, this is definitely a program I've been interested in for a while. The guy who actually told me about it when I met in the Uber, he was a data scientist, the one who got me to sign up for the data analytics class. And you know, I know Python is used a lot. As a matter of fact, in my current job, I'm on my 3rd week there. It's funny because they just mentioned Jupyter and they just mentioned Python. So, you know, I was just looking at Jupyter. So I think it's very valuable. I mean, it's definitely something that was on my bucket list that I want to do. What would be your advice as far as being in the 3rd week? I mean, 2 days out of the week, I know, of course, you're going to have to put more hours into that. But, you know, speaking on, on the flexibility of someone who kind of just started in their job, you know, what would be your advice on going to that? Maybe is it a good idea, or, you know, or maybe catch the next one round, or what would you say for that?
Yeah, excellent question. There is a learning curve going straight to data science. Okay, learning curve. You guys know I don't lie to you. I give it to you real. You might not like what I have to say, but I'm gonna give it to you real every time. Okay, I'm 100% honest with you guys. We have our CAP program. Some of you heard about it, some of you are not. Some of you got emails about it. The CAP program, which you start while you're going through the data analytics. So the way it works is you pick your tier 2 tool, which could be Power. We only work with the hottest tools in the market. Power BI, it could be data warehousing in ETL, Tableau, or Click. Okay, you pick your tool, and as you work through, you're gonna build projects. Okay, first project, basic project. Second project, a little bit more advanced. For the 3rd project, we add in Python. We start teaching you Python. Okay, when you get to your so your 3rd project will be your tool plus Python. Fourth project, you'll learn more in-depth concepts. You'll start learning about the math and the science. Okay, and then your 5th project is more on the data science side. Okay, so that is to help you transition. So the ideal route is you go through the data analytics program, you get placed, you come, by the time you get placed, you're either 1 or 2 projects in your CAP program. Okay, so you get placed, take you a little time off, go on vacation or whatever, come back, finish out that CAP program, because the CAP program is going to allow you to start learning Python. Okay. You finish out the CAP program and then you sign up for the next data science program. That's going to be the smoothest route. Okay. And the CAP program for the people that went through data analytics is free. Okay. The CAP program is free for you guys, for all of you guys that have graduated through this program. And so that's kind of a transition into Python. Now, if you're someone that, I mean, all of you guys are go-getters. If you're someone that's like, yeah, I'm ready to spend this time and do this, then yeah, you can join the data science class right off the bat. You don't have to go through CAP. CAP is going to make it a better experience for you because you get exposed to Python a little slower, right? You don't have all of these assignments due, back to back to back. So it gives you a little bit more time to kind of transition into it. But if you're ready to put the grind in, then you can go for it now, right? But the ideal way that I'm gonna pitch to all of the students coming through the data analytics is, hey, finish up your CAP program. You probably got 3 more projects left. Finish that up, get your badge, get your Colaberry badge for that tool, and then you'll already understand Python by the time you finish that. And you're not paying anything extra for it. And then once you're ready, you migrate to the data science class. So that, Jarvis, would be the route that we're gonna push to make the transition even smoother. But by all means, if you're ready to put that work in, you can definitely be able to absorb the concepts if you put in the work in for the data science class.
I know you mentioned this, but just want to hear it again because it sounds good. You said we'll be in the APIs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know that's kind of hard on the market. A lot of APIs. That's something I want.
Everything is about APIs now, because if a company like say you go sign up to use a company's like Facebook, right? Perfect example. You go use Facebook, that's all your data, right? So if you wanted to collect that data and grab that data, you could connect to their API and go grab that information out of there. So that's what all companies are doing. If they have data that you have access to, either as your data or they're allowing you to see their data, then they're going to set up an API, which you got to have access to get into, and the access controls what data you can see. So it's like them giving you access to their database, but it's much more secure. Okay. You only have access to what you have access to. And when you connect to that, you can grab what you can grab out of what they allow you to grab. You can pull that, you can connect to it as many times. You talk about think about fantasy football, right? These companies that have built these fantasy football sites, they're all connecting to NFL.com API. That means they're able to call the data as soon as NFL can get that data in, live data as the plays are going. NFL.com has people adding the stats in right away. You can connect to that less than a second later after it's inserted and pull that data in almost real time, right? And all of that's done through an API. So that is definitely the future of how you connect to different sources. Mostly everybody's going to have an API in like 5 years.
Hi, Ellie. Yes, I do have a question about, once we're done with these 3 projects on the data science, does it just like, the first stage, like how many years of experience, like a hands-on experience once we're done with these 3 projects?
Look, Ahmed, this is such a new industry, right? That I get, people reaching out to me all of the time, and they send me messages like, hey, if you can walk us through an algorithm that you built, then that's good enough, right? Because there's not enough, I want 4 years of experience and 5 years of experience or a PhD. The top companies are competing for those people. the Googles of the world, the Facebook of the world. They're grabbing the PhDs, right? You know, and that's how they work. Your medium to large size companies, they're like, okay, how can we get these people through? And they're willing to accept a lower level as long as you know what you're doing. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. Yeah, there's some top level positions out there where they're like, I want this, I want this, I want that. But there's a lot of positions out there that, hey, we're kind of migrating into this. You know, we want every company wants this to be their future, but bringing somebody in, the company not knowing that much about it, they're like, what can be done? They don't even know what can be done, right? They're more than willing. There's a lot of companies out there more than willing. Okay, you've been a data, you know, a BI developer for this many years. Plus, you got these projects where I can look at what you've done. That is enough to get you in the door. And if not, guess what? I mean, it will be, but I'm definitely hiring out of the program for the consultancy, right? And so I got my chief data scientist who can handle any problem. So if I hire you on as a data scientist, I know that if you get stuck with a problem, we got resources that can help you out, and you can figure anything out if you work at it long enough, right? So I would be hiring people out of the program, and I know that with that skill set, there'll be a lot of other companies out there hiring as well.
More than enough. Thank you, General.
Yeah.
And one more time, and you say this, the length of the program is about 7 to 10 months.
Yeah, and I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Like, we're gonna be heavily focused on these next few rounds of making sure you guys get your projects done. So it may extend out a little bit longer than that, okay? But I'll keep you guys posted along the way. But like I said, my number one goal is to get as many people through as possible, okay? So with that being said, there may be a little bit of extra time just to make sure that we get everybody through. But you know, it'll be within reason.
So when I joined, it was through military scholarship. When I'm looking at the application right now, it says educational background. Well, I'm not going to have my degree until the end of the year. Is that going to be a problem?
No, not at all.
Just put my high school diploma?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys can reach out to support, initiate the process. Of course, you're going to have to show your degree or diploma or whatever. So try to go through the process as fast as possible. On the first day, I'll be there to talk to you guys, give you an overview of the entire program. We can get your payments in, get you all, make sure everybody has access and all of that. But other than that, y'all come, you know, like you did in data analytics, clear out that schedule, be ready to grind, be ready to work. It's a lot of work. I told you, I went through the class myself as a student. It is tough, okay? But there's nothing that can't be handled through time. And as long as you have the time to dedicate to the program, there's no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to get all of the concepts. All right, guys. Ali at Colaberry.com. If you have any more questions, just feel free to reach out to me or support. All right, support's there to help you out.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you
Good stuff.
soon.